Are you tired of setting goals and never seeing them come into reality? Or maybe you don't even set goals at all because you're worried they're never actually going to come true, so what's the point anyway? Well, in this video, I am going to show you how to achieve 100, not 99, 100% of the goals that you set. You will set and achieve your goals every single time if you follow the strategy in this video. Let's get started. So before we get too deep into this, I just want to tell you a quick little story about goal setting and how I got to the point where I could set goals and achieve them 100% of the time. So about a few years back, I was actually in school to become a doctor. I was a medical student and I was slamming my face against the books every single night. And I would set goals for myself that just weren't happening. And one of the biggest goals I remember in the past, I was learning guitar at the time. And for some reason, I had attached the guitar and being a medical student together. So with this goal that I had set, I had picked a specific song and I said, if I don't finish this song, I'm not going to become a doctor. Now, a little bit about me at the time, I didn't necessarily want to be a doctor. I thought I did, but I didn't fully realize that I didn't. So I set this goal that was unrealistic and way past my skill level to learn this guitar song and attached it to something that was valuable to me. And it ended up it was a self destructive move that tossed me into kind of a spiral. Anyway, from that point, I really heavily dove deeply into how to properly set goals and achieve them every single time. And I've developed a little bit of a strategy. So the first part that I want to start with this is going to be the SMART acronym. And I'm going to show you on a sheet of paper. So for those of you that haven't seen this strategy, first of all, it starts with a very simple word called SMART. So this acronym, each letter stands for something. So I am dyslexic, so if I misspell something, I apologize. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So this right here is the basic, terrible spelling, but the basic breakdown of any good goal. So I'm going to take you through these quickly. So first off, specific is pretty easy. With the specific, you have to get very specific on what you want your actual goal to be. So the rest of the four letters kind of help you with that. So measurable is one of the most important. So firstly, this is where most people mess up with their goals. When you're setting a measurable goal, you don't just want to say, I want to be rich. That's not going to work. You have to set up what exactly constitute as being rich, for example. What numerical amount of money is rich if you're talking specifically about money? So we would want to say, I want $1 million. Actually, we'll just do a money sign right there. So that would be kind of you starting to move towards making it measurable. You have to attach some sort of number to it. No number, not measurable. If it's not measurable, the goal is not going to happen because you're never going to reach it. I want to make a viral YouTube video. Well, great. What is the number that counts as viral? Is it 1 bill or 2 million? Or is it, 7,000? If you have a YouTube video or if you have a YouTube channel that's really small, this is relatively viral for your YouTube channel. If you don't attach and you just say viral, well, there's no real definition to what viral is. So it really can mess you up. So coming back here, we're going to move to attainable. This is where almost everyone messes up. Attainable. So, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to use a new sheet here. So now that we've talked about measurable, we're going to go on to attainable. So attainable, what does that mean? So attainable has to be something within your grasp. That's the important part, within your grasp. So a lot of times we will over accentuate or overguess what is actually possible for us because, we believe in ourselves. We have a lot of confidence in ourselves. If the goal is not attainable, then you're not ever going to reach that goal. So if you're setting goals, like for example, I want to have $1 million. Well, if you're working at a relatively starter job, that's not going to happen right out of the gate. That's going to be relatively difficult. Now, yes, if you had a lot of time to get this done, then it could happen, but it's just unlikely that that's going to happen if you don't really have anything set up and in place. You're reaching a bit too far. So, moving now to relative, the goal has to be relative to you. The goal has to be something that matters to you. Yes, having $1 million is nice, but $1 million does not equal happiness. So just setting a goal to get $1 million, that's not gonna work because it's not gonna. What do you want out of the $1 million? Why is the goal important to you? If you can't figure that out, then you're not going to be able to kind of decide what it is that you want out of the goal and why it's important. It's just going to kind of be a waste of time for you. You're just going to have this goal that you don't really care about. And the last and also very important piece is time bound. You have to have a specific amount of time attached to your goal in order for it to have any relativity. Yes, I'm going to make $1 million. Well, is that over the course of your life? Because $1 million over the course of your life, although it's okay, it's not very much money in the grand scheme of things, and it doesn't really give you any timing to let you know that you've actually completed the goal. It just kind of shoots it out there that maybe I'll achieve this one day. I want to have 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Well, great. Eventually, at some point, how are you going to get there, and what time does it take to get there? Because what's the point in having a goal if it could happen at any point down the line? Because 1,000 subscribers 20 years from now, even though I'm setting that goal right now, doesn't really mean anything to me. I would rather have that much sooner. I assume if you're setting the goal, it's something you want much sooner, or make the goal bigger, but it's much further out and you want to have it completed by that time. So the setup for a specific goal needs to be specific. I want to have 1,000 subscribers. It has to be measurable, which is that 1,000. It has to be attainable, something that's within your grasp, and I'll get on that in just a second. Then it has to be relative. Why do you care? What's important? You don't have to put that in the goal, but why is it motivating to you? Why is it relative to you? I want to have 1,000 subscribers because I want to get my channel monetized so I can start doing philanthropy work with the money that I make from YouTube. Okay. And then time bound. I want to have that 1,000 subscribers so I can be monetized on YouTube by June of 2024. That's a goal that is somewhat attainable. People have grown much quicker, but it is attainable. It is something you can do in the future, and it has a time and number attached to it. Now, here's my specific trick past this acronym, which you've probably seen before. And my specific trick is start super small with your goals. Don't shoot for the stars out the gate. Yes, that's where we want to get, and that you will get there. But if you jump too far, a little too fast, well, I'll put it to you this way. Building up your confidence around goal setting is like growing a tree. Every time you get a goal and achieve it, it's like putting a little water, a little fertilizer on that tree and giving it a bunch of sunlight. Every time you fail a goal, it's like taking an axe and swinging it at that tree one time. If the tree is really, really young, it's going to destroy the tree entirely. But even if the tree is huge, it can take a chunk out of it. Now, if you have years of goal setting under your belt and you've gotten all of your goals 100% of the time, you're going to have a strong tree and it can take a hit. But if you're gambling too early on, it's going to break your entire ecosystem. It's going to kill the tree. So what you have to do is set really small goals and start there, achieve them, then up the ante a little bit, achieve that one. Start with 1 subscriber, then go to 10, then go to 50, then 100. Instead of going from, well, I know I started my YouTube channel last week, but I want 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. That's possible, but very unattainable. It's very unlikely that it's going to happen. And that's a big number, and it's a very short amount of time. The goal wasn't attainable. Make your goals very attainable in the beginning and slowly move that marker up. If you want to have more tips in the future on how to make your goals 100% of the time, go ahead and subscribe. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll make another video about goal setting in the future. And as always, I'm going to keep being me and you keep being you because you're the best at it. And I will see you tomorrow.